Do you really need Lightning Lane in Magic Kingdom? I'm finding out by trying to do everything here today without skipping any lines. Should be pretty difficult. There's like 30-ish attractions here, and the park is only open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. today, so should be tight, but we're gonna do our best. We are immediately off to a bit of a rough start. I parked at the Transportation and Ticket Center, about a mile from Magic Kingdom. Typically, it takes about 30 minutes from parking to get to the front gates of Magic Kingdom. This morning, it took over an hour. They were only running one ferry boat, and the monorail was extremely backed up. I think I waited through 4 or 5 monorails, and then when I was on the monorail, it stopped for a long time. So rough go of it this morning. It does mean I missed true rope drop. So we are in the park about 30 minutes after it opened. My intention was to be here 30 minutes prior to it being open, but sometimes things don't work out the way you want in Disney World. Even if you're not headed to the Transportation and Ticket Center or taking the monorail, you could find yourself delayed because of bus trouble or just getting out of the room with your kids. So we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna see how we do today, but it might make this challenge a little bit more stressful than it would otherwise be. My plan was to rope drop either Tron or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and then to do the other during the parade. Those are the most popular rides in the park that do keep the longest lines all day. And so my plan was to knock one of them out early. I believe I'm still going to do that, but what I might do before is hop on a Main Street vehicle. We can, because those are extremely hard to catch during the day. They run intermittently from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And when they are done for the day, they're done for the day. And they don't run for a lot of that period because they don't run during parades. They don't run during many of the shows. But I see one stopped right up here right now. It's not ideal. There were none right at the front, and I was nervous, but they weren't out. But we're gonna hop on this Main Street vehicle, and hopefully it'll leave right now. Okay, now I'm walking back up Main Street because I rode the Main Street vehicles the wrong way. Main Street vehicles are awesome. They are sort of turn-of-the-century style vehicles that take you between Cinderella Castle and the train station. They are one-way rides. You'd have to get off and back on if you want to do the full loop. And the full loop takes a little bit longer than my legs do. So I only went one way, and I did walk to the end of the road because it was faster to get on that than wait for the one to come all the way back down, which means I'm now walking back up. So that's not how I recommend doing it. I would recommend waiting for one by the train station and heading forward. I don't know if I want to do Tron or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train right now. I still think one of those is the right call. Rope drop in Disney World is the term used for like right around park opening, and it is the best time to get on some of the shortest waits of the whole day. Depending on the crowd level, time of year, things like that, the rope drop crowds can extend about an hour or even 2 hours past park opening. So we are technically still in that rope drop window, even though I missed a true rope drop thanks to TTC transportation troubles. So right now, Tron Light Cycle Run is 55 minutes. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is 40 minutes. I'm going with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train because I think that it is more likely to be less than posted at this time. One of the big reasons that it's easy to get on rides in the morning is because it is before Lightning Lane, Disney's Skip the Line service, actually kicks in. You're not using Lightning Lane today, of course. I am showing if it's possible to do everything in this park without it. I think it is. We're gonna find out. The question is it possible when things go wrong? Which, unfortunately, we're also gonna find out. Already happened. But as folks redeem their paid Lightning Lanes and start skipping those lines, it does tend to slow the standby line down. Now, earlier in the morning, fewer return times are happening for those Lightning Lanes. There's been less time for people to be late and for the Lightning Lanes to build up. And that means the standby lines tend to move a bit more consistently for the first hour or two of the day, just like the lines being shorter in general. So it's often when you'll find a shorter than posted wait as well. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train does look like it is going to be 40 right now, but that is still pretty good for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. The line's all the way outside the queue, which is also normal. So we're gonna see just how long it takes. That was great. I only waited 35 minutes. So that's awesome. Rope drop still works there. I heard a lot of people in line talking about how, oh, there's no way this is only like 50, it's 50 minutes. This looks longer to me. That I've seen it open as 90. Then it was 35. So we got in line outside of the queue. And that is because the line moves so much faster for that ride in the morning. Another ride that is true about is Peter Pan's Flight, which is the second longest line in the park right now, behind Tron, at a 50-minute wait. I wanted to look with my eyes for a reason, because it is outside of the queue here. Now, could it potentially still be shorter than 50 minutes? Yes. And this one does slow down so dramatically when the lightning lane kicks in. I don't know, this could be a mistake. I do think we're right on that line of like the lightning lane's already slowed the ride down. So it might be more worth our time to get some shorter stuff in around Fantasyland, return to Peter Pan's Flight later. Let's do that, because outside of the queue, Peter Pan's Flight, that's really not ideal. But later, this will look much shorter, and it will actually be longer. It's just that I do think this is a true 50 minutes at this time. Let's ride Small World. We're right next to it, huh? Why not? A lot of people weirdly came and got on the line at the same time. Maybe they all had the same experience I did when they wanted to ride Peter Pan. But I got mine. The line was backed up to like there, and I literally haven't stopped walking, so I'm gonna be on in like 2 minutes. Here's the plan. I'm going this way because the lines are definitely starting to be up. See, this is now posted longer at 55 and the whole line's in the queue. And that is probably accurate. All of Fantasyland is starting to get long lines. Now what is not getting long lines is Frontierland and Liberty Square. So I think we're gonna go ahead and knock out Haunted Mansion. It's a 25-minute posted right now. Probably might have people rush over, so it could be anywhere between 20 and 30. Oh my gosh, Flynn Rider and Rapunzel are ahead of us, and they're holding hands, and Flynn's holding hands with a little girl too. Oh my god, how precious. What a magic moment. That's so sweet. Hopping in a 25-minute line for Haunted Mansion. Now this line does look longer right now than it is because you can see this construction actually cuts out some of the queue. As they work on the transformation, turning Tom Sawyer Island and the river into a new cars area. So we're gonna hop in a 25-minute line. I would guess that's accurate, but we'll find out. Haunted Mansion, I believe, just went down. I hear a lot of people walking by saying the words temporarily closed, but cast members haven't said anything. I see what the app says. Haunted Mansion temporarily closed. Okay. Just for a ride I was worried about getting on later, I would definitely stay. You know what? Oh, temporarily closed. That's gonna be at least 10 minutes. That's just not worth it. I think I might continue on our way because there's still, oh, it just went back up. Okay, that was weird. Usually if something goes all the way to temporarily closed, it's gonna be down for like minimum 10 minutes. That was like two minutes. All right, well. The playful spirits have unavoidably detained us for like the last 8 minutes at least. Although we're literally in one of my dream rooms to get evacuated out of. So maybe they could keep detaining us. I was in there forever. Also, I don't want to alarm you guys, but I'm pretty sure Joseph is going to follow me home. There was this guy with the beard who sat down with me, and I'm pretty sure he's coming home with me. So I don't know. Guess my house is haunted now. Here's the deal. We waited 30 minutes. There was a slowdown with the line when it went temporarily down for a minute. So it was actually pretty accurate to post it. Perhaps unsurprising, Tiana's Bayou Adventures a posted 5-minute wait. That would typically be one that would be much higher than that at this time. It is not. It's quite chilly out today for a water ride. Now, as you can probably tell, now it's winter. One of the slower times of year, it's early February, which is good for us because we've had a couple of slowdowns today, a good 10-15 minute stop on Haunted Mansion. Of course, our issue with the Transportation Ticket Center this morning. So lower crowd is going to be helpful to us. It is not super dead. There's still a 90-minute wait for Tron right now and over an hour for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but that is helpful. If you do want to see me attempt this very same challenge about 6 months ago on a much busier day, you absolutely can to see how that went for me. Obviously, different days are going to go different ways with different crowd levels, but in my experience, the crowd actually has less effect than things going wrong, like I've had happen today, and the strategy remains the same whether crowds are high or not. The way you should make decisions, the way you should be ready to pivot, in the instances of certain things happening. Now, I am going to glance at Hall of Presidents. It is a long show that I would like to knock out. It also closes a little earlier. I think tonight it closes at 7:30 or 8 p.m. So I would like to get it knocked out, but because it is a long show, if you don't catch it at the right time, you can find yourself waiting for a really long time for the show. And right now it's roped off, which means that's probably over 20 minutes away that the next show is starting. I don't want to wait that long, so we're going to continue on. I'm like honestly dreading going to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but I should probably just get it out of the way. Folks a lot will make fun of us for saying the cold in Orlando ever. First of all, I'll tell you, it's been in the 20s multiple times this year. In fact, last week I walked my dog and feels like 19, and there was frost on the ground in my neighborhood. I used to live in a place that was at 3,000 feet elevation for 6 years, and it was regularly in the negatives. So I know cold. I know when you're from up north, it's silly to think like, oh, Orlando's a cold place, but the difference is Orlando is wet and you maybe didn't pack for it. Those are the two reasons that you can find yourself cold in Disney World, is not quite packing for feeling a little cooler than it might look like it's going to, or just assuming it's going to be warm because it's Florida, or not realizing that the fact that the humidity doesn't go away in the winter here means cold feels bone chilling in a way it does not until it's a lot colder in other places. I have heard from so many folks who live up north that this 55 degrees feels much worse than their 55 degrees because the air is wet. Of course, you might also be plenty comfortable. There's plenty of folks I meet who are plenty comfortable in a cooler Orlando day in short sleeves, but err on the side of caution. You don't want to end up shelling out $70 for a sweatshirt or a jacket because you didn't pack anything or wear the right stuff. You can always get a locker for $10. That is a much lower cost. I'm gonna do Tiana's Bayou Adventure because I am not a wimp. I can handle it. Yeah, it feels like 50 right now, so it is definitely that wind chill making it a little cooler. Unsurprisingly, this is the shortest wait I've ever seen for Tiana's Bayou Adventure at 5 minutes. So that's pretty funny. All these people in ponchos, they are smarter than me. I'm gonna go in just as is, see how it goes. Going up the lift hill, I'm afraid. I thought I already went through this room. That scared me. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Did I survive? Okay, I'm pretty dry. Nothing on my clothes, and I just got a little bit of like splashes at the top of my head. If you're in any row but the front row, I fully believe you can stay completely dry on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I ride it all the time and I rarely ever get more than a splash to the face or my head. If you're in the front row, you can get unlucky. Particularly the big drop obviously could cause a problem. You mostly get water to the face on that one, and it can spray you just straight in your face. When you're in the front row, there's nothing to block it, so you do want to look down. If you don't want just like a face full of water. The actual sleeper problem on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we're in the front 2 rows. Once the ride starts, you go up a hill and you're let out into like a little outdoor section. You're gonna pass Lewis, you're gonna pass Larry the Armadillo. There is a door on your right. You'll be able to hear Mama Odie through it. You're coming up on your first drop. This drop is the problem. You will get to the bottom of it. You won't get wet at all as soon as the drop ends. You'll be like, oh, that was fine. But the way the boats are, water will then splash into the ride vehicle in the front 2 rows. So if you're in the front, and even sometimes further back, water will hit you on your body where your clothes are, get your clothes wet. That is the actual real problem. That said, since I didn't get wet, that was totally worth it. Walk on for Tiana's, I mean, I think it was like 4 minutes total, and most of that was me walking straight up there. And there was an entire like 30-person teenage school group in front of me. They entered right before I did. It didn't even slow me down. That's how empty the ride was. I'm headed into Adventureland now. I have a theory that while it's cooler, Jungle Cruise might be a little shorter, and it has had sort of a sloping down wait time. Also, I can see the sun starting to break through the wind and the clouds, which means I rode Tiana's at the worst possible time for temperature, probably best possible time for lines, but also my theory about Jungle Cruise, that might end. I keep thinking I need to be thinking about what lightning lane I need to get to, and I don't. I can go anywhere I want. just following the wait times, and that actually feels really good. Jungle Cruise, aka Jokes and Boats, as I like to call it. You ride on a cruise through the rivers of the world with a very funny skipper at the helm. You may or may not make it back. They don't have the best track record of keeping the boats, all the passengers in them on the water, you know. It's a 35-minute posted. I think this looks like a 35-minute, so I'm guessing it's accurate, but I have a theory it might be a little bit shorter because it has been dropping and it is quite chilly right now, so not the best time for an outdoor line. So we're gonna see. Fillet of rock python, chicken-esque, not bad.
The Jungle Cruise is proud to present B.
Woo!
Yeah. Quite literally the best in the world. And that's not opinion, baby. That's fact. My name is Michael, 9-time award-winning skipper, 2-time crew cup champion, a city council member, but that's a story for another day, and your reigning, defending, undisputed skipper of the year.
Woo!
Talk about hitting the skipper jackpot, everybody. I mean, all jokes aside, it truly is an honor for you to meet me. Now, we're going to see some sights. I'm going to tell some jokes. People are going to have fun or else. Just up in a tight 48 minutes, so here we go. A round of applause for the best side of water!
Woo! Incredible Jungle Cruise. Maybe my best Jungle Cruise of all time. Got Skipper Michael. Skipper Mikey kept calling himself Skipper of the Year, and I believe that he might actually be the Skipper of the Year. He said, ask anybody. I didn't. Maybe I'll return and ask. He was hysterical. I like to say my favorite jokes that I hear every time on Jungle Cruise. I can't count. I started texting him to Emma to keep track. It was so funny. He looked like Josh Gad. So if you get a skipper that looks like Josh Gad, whose name is Michael, you're in for a treat, man. He said it himself. You won the skipper lottery. And then at the end, he was like, I know you all had a wonderful time today because I told you you were going to, and Papa delivered. Papa delivered? So funny. I guess if I have to call one out, I literally, there were so many good jokes. All right, I am quickly popping into Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse because I haven't looked at wait times yet while I was laughing so hard at those jokes. By the way, it did not get warmer. It is still very cold. Oh, in fact, it is colder. It's now 55 degrees, down from 58. So it is one of those days where it's getting colder. Okay, my Jungle Cruise wait was only, that can't be right, for real? Oh, my Jungle Cruise wait was at exactly 35 minutes. I can't do math. My Jungle Cruise wait was exactly 35 minutes. Like posted, obviously Swiss Family is 0. It always is. Super, super crowded, in which case it will be 5, and you'll have to walk through it a little slower. My strategy today has been a bit different. You may have noticed I am doing, outside of Small World, which was a weird detour, pretty much only heavy hitters first, because if I can catch those easily, they don't end up being things that are problematic later in the day. I don't know if this is a good idea because I could be using up time that then means I get sort of in a super big crunch later in the evening. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, I'm trying it and I'm sticking to my guns. Also, we're about to be getting into parade time territory. That's gonna be a big time for us. The parade time is when wait times tend to drop around the entire park. For everything. Tron can go as low as 30 minutes. I saw it at 30 minutes the other day during the parade. So that is when we're going to try to ride Tron Light Cycle Run. I would like to get 2 heavy hitters out during the 3 o'clock parade, which would be Tron Light Cycle Run and Peter Pan's Flight if I can manage it. Those are not close to each other. So I think what I might do is as the parade time is impending, I will head to Peter Pan's Flight. Maybe, or maybe I'll go Tron first. Maybe I'll do Space Mountain right before the parade, then Tron and Peter Pan's Flight. Try to do 3 heavy hitters in the parade window? I don't know. But those dropped wait times are important, so right now I'm doing probably my favorite ride, Pirates of the Caribbean. This is a slow moving boat ride that takes you back to the golden age of piracy. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies are based on it, and you will see characters from the films that have been added to the attraction. It is a very great attraction, fun for the whole family. We see some pillaging, some plundering, some antics, and hear the iconic song, Yo Ho Yo Ho, Pirate's Life for Me. And it's a 20-minute wait right now. This looks accurately 20 minutes, so wait times are pretty accurate today so far. Sorry to interrupt from a nighttime Main Street. I know what happens in the rest of the video, so I just lived it, and you have to keep watching. But if you are feeling like you would like to use Lightning Lane, but it just seems a little bit too confusing to maneuver, don't worry, because we do have the official All Ears free guide to Lightning Lane You can download it. It'll help you out with all the basics and some of our more advanced tips and tricks. If you would like to get that, you can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can head to AllEars.net/lightning lane. Oh, cool. They have a pirate red skull mug now. Hold on, you guys want to see it? Look at it. It is about an hour to parade time, so I think I'm going to head over to Tomorrowland just to go ahead and start being in the right area when those wait times start to plummet over there. That, I think, is my best chance because I can then get both Space and Tron in the time, definitely. And if we are really cooking, maybe we can get over to Peter Pan's fight while it's still short. Otherwise, we do have the nighttime parade and the fireworks window tonight when wait times will drop, which is when I can get some of those 40+ minute waits done. Not really looking to wait longer than 35 minutes for anything today, and I'm hoping we've gotten most of our 35-minute waits out of the way. The tricky thing about doing everything in Magic Kingdom is the wait times are really only half the battle. The other half is how long some of the attractions take. Some of the rides are quite lengthy. Jungle Cruise is one, for instance. And then the shows can take up a good amount of time as well because, like Hall of Presidents, as we mentioned, can be a real doozy if you hit it at the wrong time. And any of the shows, if you catch it at the wrong time, you could be waiting through 2 show cycles, and the shows are all 10 to 20 a minute.
Right now.
So that could be a 40-minute window of your day just because you hit it at the wrong time. Oh my gosh, Raya's meeting. That's so cool. That's awesome. Okay, I think I might grab some lunch right now too. It seems like a good time to do that while we're in sort of waiting for parade limbo. And then we can make a call, eat really quickly, make a call about where to head next. It's warming up now, but it is fun to be in Magic Kingdom on a cooler day because it's fun to play Spot the Family that's from a really cold place. Most people are in like sweatshirts, you know, or a jacket like me, and it's fine. Some people you can see are really bundled, and then there's some people who are like in shorts, and someone's got their short sleeves on, and everybody looks comfortable in the whole family. And those people, you know, are from somewhere cold. My friends who were watching from the UK or Canada, maybe. All right, I went ahead and ordered food, but my window doesn't open for about 5 minutes, which is wild. No restaurants in the entire park have any wait for mobile order except for Cosmic Rays. That is my jam right now. Cosmic Rays cheeseburger, listen, y'all get on me. I get hate in the comments for loving the Cosmic Rays cheeseburger, but I'll accept it because I do love that Cosmic Rays cheeseburger. But because there's a little bit of a wait for me to go pick it up, I'm gonna go ahead and knock People Mover out just because no time wasted is the way to go when you're trying to do everything in Magic Kingdom without any lightning lane. This is gonna be a chilly ride. Also, I did the wait time. It's posted as temporarily down, but I'm riding it. You see, I just got on it. The door's closing right now. I don't think it's temporarily closed. 30 minutes to parade, so we're gonna eat in about 15, and then we should start to see those wait times dropping. Right now, 30 minutes to parade, Tron is 65, Space is 40, and Peter Pan's flight is 45. So Tron's actually already way down from when it was 90 earlier, which is great. The highest wait times for Tron, if you do not get a really clean rope drop on it, it's not actually open for hotel guests in the morning for the early entry, 30 minutes prior to park open for everybody else. It's not open, but folks will go line up for it. So if you don't have a hotel guest entry and you don't head straight there, you're still probably in for one of the highest waits of the day with Tron, as a lot of people do tend to rope drop. So if you don't do it well, you end up with a higher wait than you would otherwise. It also tends to have a really high wait mid-morning, and then usually around 6 p.m. in the winter. It'll be a little later in the summer when it gets dark. Folks want to ride Tron at night, but they also want to see the fireworks, which means they have to go pretty much as soon as it gets dark. There's usually a very high wait time for Tron right when nightfall is coming on. All right, I just have to hit I'm here to prepare my order for Casey's, and we will be bestowed upon us a burger. I'm here to prepare my order. I'm very excited about burger and fries and water required. A potential other option right now would be for me to eat this in line for maybe Astro Orbiter, which looks like it has probably a 20-25 minute line. But Astro Orbiter is a very lengthy attraction. Anything that I could get in a long enough line to eat this in is a lengthier attraction. And then if the big parade drop happens, it might happen right at 3, it might happen a little early, it might happen a little late. If it happens while I'm in a line, I could miss the good wait time for Tron. So I'm gonna eat here as quickly as I can, and then just be ready to go hit Tron's low wait. Still no sign of the wait time drop just yet, which is wild because we're only 10 minutes out from the parade. Usually you start to see like a 5-10 minute decline at this point on the big ones, but it's still holding. Seven Dwarfs at 50, Tron at 65. I wonder if because it's cold, fewer people are sticking out the parade. Also, just because it's not visible in the actual wait time yet doesn't mean the drop hasn't started to happen. We're just not quite over there to be able to look with our eyes, and I want more of that prime parade time drop. The parade starts in Frontierland and makes its way over to Main Street. So around the time 3 o'clock hits is when people who know about the parade are going to be ready to watch it, and some will be watching it. And people who don't know about the parade will be seeing it in the park, and it will pull their attention. So when that happens, we should be good to go. But for now, I'm going to kill a little more time by doing some quick Storybook Circus and Fantasyland area rides that keep me close enough to Tron, but don't lock me out of leaving because I'm in a 20-minute show or something. So we'll do that for now until hopefully that wait time drops. I'm like building it up now. I'm like, what if something is wild and it doesn't happen? But it always happens. I forgot to tell you guys, this morning when I was on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, as soon as I sat down and they like locked the lap bar, my stomach started hurting so bad from my coffee. And then it hurt for the whole ride, and then it immediately stopped. Which is what I then got scared would happen here on Teacups after having eaten my burger, but it is not happening. But also I'm just letting it vibe. Okay, the drop is happening, but weirdly it's not touching Tron today. I'm seeing the drop start on everything but Tron and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which means I think I'm going to cruise over to Peter Pan's flight because it's gone down to 35. It should continue to drop as that parade gets closer to Main Street, and the parade has started at this point, so folks who want to see it should be going to see it now. I'm hoping 35 is great for Peter Pan. It would be really cool if it were 25. And yeah, I'm just not seeing that drop on Tron. It's still holding at 65. Part of me wants to go look at the wait with my eyes and see, because there have been some inaccuracies with the app today. The wait times have been accurate. Then sometimes the app will say like a wait time that isn't what the wait time says on the sign, or the app will say something that isn't, so it'll say something's down. The app said People Mover was temporarily closed from the point that I stepped on the ramp, got on the ride, rode it all the way, got back off, and people were still loading. It didn't stop once, and the whole time the app said it was temporarily down. So there's just some wonkiness. So I'm nervous that this is the right time to be walking over to Tron, and the app is just not with it, not there. Magic. My camera wouldn't turn on. Hi, Quincy, hi, Fred Hammer. It took 30, but to be fair, that's like 10, 20 minutes shorter than it's been all day. So I will take that as my parade ride. It's not exactly what I wanted out of parade time, but yeah, weirdly stuff didn't drop. And Peter Pan's is already back up. Yeah, Tron just stayed at 65. I do think I'm gonna go ride Tron just because I don't want to chance it tonight when everybody who wants to ride it at night goes and gets in line and thinks, oh, it's, cold. We might as well go stand in a line. So I think I'm gonna go ride Tron now, I think. That might be silly. Should I wait and ride it right at park close when the fireworks are happening? Yes, I should, because that's the only really long line I have in the park. Yeah. You know what? Let's do some quick stuff. Let's do some nearby stuff. I'm pivoting. We're pivoting is a pivot. Pivot! I'm going for our magic. I have like a vendetta against the carousel. If you don't know this, I have ridden every single ride in Disney World in one day. It was using Lightning Lane. It took me years and 4 attempts to do, but I did eventually do it. And almost every time I attempted it, I got stuck on the carousel. Not for very long, but it's silly because it should be such a short ride. Anyway, now we're doing Mickey's PhilharMagic. This is a 10-minute 3D show. I absolutely love it. It is a cute little story where Donald has stolen Mickey Mouse's magic wizarding hat. Sorcerer's hat, I guess. Sorry. And it transports him to realms of some Disney characters you might recognize. Oh, did you see that timing? She put the rope up right behind me. I'm glad I walked in here because now I don't have to wait for a show to cycle like I was talking about earlier. We're gonna walk right into a seat and the show is going to start. I'm literally the last person. That was awesome. We've done it. Next up we have, I'm thinking what we should do is we should dedicate some time to the things that close before park close. There's still a while. We've got several hours until those things do start to close up, but I still think that we might miss them if we don't hit them now. I'm gonna add towards Hall of Presidents. Hall of Presidents, such a drag during a ride challenge because it does take so long to get through it because the show itself is really long. That said, it's a must. It's one of the attractions. Often when we do this challenge with or without Lightning Lane, if we ever miss one, it's usually Hall of Presidents because of the time that it closes, or it's something else because of the time the Hall of Presidents takes. Now, when we do these challenges and the days are slower, a lot of times we'll get comments that are like, yeah, but could you do this on a busy day? And like I said, we have. And yes, we can usually do about the same on a busy day and a slow day, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the biggest is that the busier the park day, the more likely Disney is to have given that day longer hours. In the summer, a busier time, and around the holidays, a busier time, the parks are open much later. Usually, you will have an additional 2 to 3 hours in a park day than you will during slower times of year. You can get a lot done in 2 to 3 hours, especially if it's 2 hours after fireworks when a lot of the kiddos have gone home. So that is actually the big thing that makes this very difficult in the winter. Even though, yes, generally wait times are a little lower around the park, you have like Dumbo's been 5 minutes all day. That's awesome. But Tron's still been 65 plus, and we still got to make it into Hall of Presidents at some point. And lots of people in here, which means, ooh, and everyone's by the doors. Okay, I think our timing is much better this time.
George Washington. John Adams.
It's a very cool show, and even better when I didn't have to wait 20 minutes for it to start, and then the whole long show took up a ton of time. Just a really cool show. They've got every single president in animatronic form. Which is amazing, and so cool to see you when the curtain lifts. And every time a new president is elected, the attraction closes and they put a new animatronic in of the new president. It's just really cool. It's gotta be the coolest way we keep track of who's run this country. I am now going to, I think, do Enchanted Tales with Belle. It is one of the closing early things, that and the train. So that's, I think, probably what we're going to be up to here for the next little minute. Enchanted Tales with Belle is an incredible show, truly. It is story time with Belle. You go to Belle's father's house, Belle's cottage that she grew up in. You go inside, you see a portrait of Belle and her mother. You see where Belle's height was measured on the wall. Just really cute. And then, of course, they've had a magic mirror installed in Maurice's workshop so that it's easy to travel back and forth between Beast Castle, where Belle now lives, and her dad's cottage. So you travel through that enchanted mirror, which truly looks like magic, where you find yourself not only at Beast Castle, but back in time to the day Belle and Beast fell in love, the day of the dance in the ballroom. And Belle, it's a little surprise for Belle that you're there to help tell the story, and you do. Now, this attraction will almost always have a posted 15-minute wait, and that's because that's about how long between shows minimum. It can be longer than that, certainly, because it is a interactive experience. It is smaller shows, so this can get a line pretty regularly. One of the only shows that's true about. But we'd be able to see a line outside if that were true. It looks like it's probably a little bit of a line, but we should make it into the next show. The only catch is our timing good? Is the show about to start? Did the show just end? We don't know. Okay, here's the plan. The only thing I have left that closes early is the train. Closes at 7:30. It is not quite 5. I think my plan is to try to finish Fantasyland before grabbing the train around to Main Street. Then I will go do the things over in Adventureland and Frontierland, which should be pretty easy things to do. Since I've done most of the heavy hitters outside of Tomorrowland at this point, then I'm going to finish up Fantasyland, except for probably Winnie the Pooh. I just still have a 45-minute wait, and I think that one should drop around the time of the nighttime parade. And then I'm going to take the train around to Main Street, do Adventureland, and Frontierland. I just have like a handful of things over there. And then we should be able to finish out the night with just Tomorrowland. All goals lead to Tron. Now, it sounds like we don't have a lot left, but the catch is I have left a lot of the shows, which is not typically what I do, but I was really focusing on some of those big stressful waits earlier and getting those down as early in the day as I could. And now I'm a little nervous about how much time we're going to spend in shows. So we will see how it goes. Oh, very glad I came over here because it looks like they're going to close parts of Storybook Circus tonight with the wind. The fireworks are launched from right behind Storybook Circus, literally right over there is where they launch the fireworks. And so that sounds like because of the wind, they'll have to close Storybook Circus a little early for safety. So it's really good that we are doing Storybook Circus now and didn't save it. Dumbo the Flying Elephant, of course a must do, as it is like the Disney attraction. You fly in a Dumbo in a little circle. It's super cute, it's super fun, it's super classic. And honestly, this one does get very long lines. It's been 5 minutes all day today, which is indicative of those lower crowds. But most days, this one in the middle of the day can get up to the 45-minute mark, even higher than that often. It's Dumbo time, baby. Well, that was weird. I did not know the ride was about to start. Oh, it's crazy. I'm gonna just start saying it's blank time maybe when I want something to happen. Dumbo! Oh, it's cold. Tron is gonna be so cold later. Okay, it's saying 30. Let's see how accurate that looks. This is actually a really long queue. There's a big outdoor section and then a big indoor section. I don't see people in the outdoor section of the queue. So even if they have some of the longer portions of the inside open, I don't think it's gonna be 30. I'm gonna go for it. It was a walk on. My glasses haven't even transitioned. It's like I walked on. I don't know why it said 30. That was only 5 minutes. I don't know what's going on with their wait times reader for that one, because 30 would be super long for that ride. So I'm just really not sure why it said that. A Fantasyland station to take the Walt Disney World Railroad, obviously an iconic classic attraction. Walt himself loved trains. And that's why you'll find trains at Disneyland style parks around the world. But I do think we'd probably miss this one. I don't know, it would be crazy if they let us on, to be fair. But I think it's about to, yep, well, it's open. Did I make it? Did I make it? Yeah. Yes, amazing. Super short train ride later. That is all of the attractions that close before park close. So that is good. We don't have to worry about those anymore. Now, it's really just about if we can do all the stuff in our last 3 hours of the park day, because that is what we are to at this point. Theoretically, yes, that is a quarter, and we have a little bit less than a third left. So we really just would have to hold like a slightly higher pace than we've had the rest of the day, which means if we do no lines, except for probably Tron after close, it's like, I don't know, probably doable. I'm not 100% sure. So we are going to really try to cook the end of the night here. Of course, you don't need to do everything in Magic Kingdom in one day. The reason we do these challenges is to show you what's possible, push things to the limits, how much you can do even when things go wrong or crowds are wonky or wait times are weird. It's just so that you can apply the things that work for you to your vacation. Some things will, some things won't. And for most people, doing every single thing in Magic Kingdom is not going to be the move. There's probably at least a couple of things that I've done today that you have no interest in doing. And that is good, because it means that if I can do it, including with a stop for lunch, then you can probably get through your priorities if you use good strategies and know when to pivot and know when the wait times are lying to you. Okay, that's Country Bear Jamboree. Got to keep in mind, we've got about an hour until the nighttime parade. Hopefully that causes a wait time drop, although as we've seen, it may not, based on today. We'll check Tiki Room, make sure it's not starting imminently, although it shouldn't be. The door's open, letting people out right now. Are there people coming in immediately? Is it 1 minute away, or is it 10 minutes away? Or 15? I don't know. Can we get into the theater right this second? Doesn't look like they built the theater out, and we just saw people walking out of it. That is good news, and the birds are talking. Timing is our friend. All right, and now we're getting a nice walk-on, basically. No, not basically. We're getting a walk-on for carpets instead of waiting 10 minutes. Even that was too much. And this will clear everything but Tomorrowland and Winnie the Pooh. With a little more than 2 hours left in the park day, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, it's too cold to be on Magic Carpets at Aladdin. Woo, that's a breeze. Of course, I'm gonna fly all the way to the top. It's so pretty, but it's so cold. It's official. The scarf has had to become more scarfy. But just a little check-in of where we're at. Everything's done except for the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Tron Light Cycle Run, Space Mountain, Tomorrowland Speedway, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Carousel of Progress. I think that's it, because Buzz is closed. Did I say Space Mountain? I think that's it. I have a checklist, don't worry. I won't forget something if I didn't just say it. But it feels doable. The only thing honestly stressing me out right now are Carousel of Progress and Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, both of which are... Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is only like a 10-minute show, but it is almost impossible to hit that one with good timing, because they don't really let you into the pre-show until it's time to go in. And if there's not enough people, they'll hold you. It's very hard to do what I've done with shows all day with Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. I'm gonna try.
And the highway is crowded with fellow rats doing the same thing.
That's what they call progress, dear.
All right, we're clear. Astro Orbiter looks like a walk-on. I bet you it's gonna stay that way because of the cold. Very cold on top of that building. I just want to go glance at Monsters Inc. because I'm gonna kind of be playing a game of ping ponging between it. That literally could be the difference between us doing this or not. So that's the plan, is just to keep checking it until I happen to walk up and it's a good time. Oh, we should be looking at Space Mountain or Winnie the Pooh, actually. 80 for Tron. Well, still 30 for Winnie the Pooh. I'm checking Monsters Inc. I forgot about Winnie the Pooh. I'm a little stressed. A little stressed. Oh, bro. Are they opening it right now? We feel stopped. I don't want to be stopped. I'm going back. Okay. Let's go Astro Orbiter. Or we could do Speedway. Maybe we do Speedway so we can get a glance at Winnie the Pooh. 45 also feels really high for Space Mountain at this time of night. I guess it's still early. It just feels late because it gets dark so early. Although it looks like there's people in the longer part of the queue. It looks like a 10-minute wait for Tomorrowland Speedway. Here's the plan. Stop panicking. Look at Winnie the Pooh with your eyes. And then just get in line for Tomorrowland Speedway. It looks like it's less than 10 minutes, honestly. But I'm curious if Winnie the Pooh is accurate. That's also kind of far. People need to watch the parades. The parades are great. Definitely not 30. For sure. 15 would be, I guess, based on what I'm seeing. Yeah, so that's posted 30. Does not look like posted 30. Could be 20, but I'm okay with that. I mean, should I wait for it to drop? Yes, but I'm over here, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, I'm over here, I'm doing it. Yeah, it was 13 minutes. The woman in front of me even asked the cast member, like, your sign is really wrong. And she was like, yeah, the parade crowds are coming, so after the parade, it might get higher. I don't know. It looks the exact same as when I got online, and I think it's still saying it's posted 30 minutes. Basically, sometimes wait times are really accurate, as we've seen today, and sometimes they're super not. I think they've maybe lowered it. Yeah, they lowered it to 25. That's still inaccurate. But sometimes wait times are accurate, and sometimes they are just not. Disney not necessarily intentionally inflating these wait times, but it is true that they would rather be wrong in the higher direction than the lower. You get in a wait time that says 30 minutes and it's 50 minutes, you're gonna be pretty upset. You get in a wait time that says it's 30 and it's 13, you're gonna be pretty happy. So they're gonna err on the side of making those wait times a little longer if they're in an unsure situation. Tomorrowland Speedway has also dropped a ton since we went in there, which is great. Astro Orbiter is sitting at 5 minutes. I think it will stay at 5 minutes. I am so nervous about Monsters Inc. I'm in a car. After this, 3 rides before Tron, including Monsters Inc. and Astro Orbiter. Don't you hate traffic? My friend John was just talking about the rat race. Now I'm in the rat race. Just a bunch of rats heading down the freeway. That's what he says in Carousel of Progress. Did I film that part? I don't think so.
And the highway is crowded with fellow rats doing the same thing.
That's what they call progress, dear.
Hey, y'all remember when I said make sure to check what the closing time are for attractions you really want to do? Because sometimes attractions close early. I did that today. I went through every single attraction and I missed one, and it was Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. It closed at 8. It is 8 right this second. That is brutal. I realized while I was on Tomorrowland Speedway, I went to look at the wait time and I pulled up the page and it said closed at 8. And I was, 3 minutes from getting off the ride. It was 7:55. Wasn't gonna happen. So that is officially, technically, that means I can't get through everything. But I'm definitely gonna get through every ride, and nothing can stop us now unless I get stuck on Astro Orbiter in the sky, which I really hope doesn't happen. It's really cold, but it's really cool. Astro Orbiter rocks at night. Oh, it's so cold, and it's about to be the scary part. Oh, it's so cold.
Then follow the arrows to the flight deck.
All right, things are good. Space Mountain, 25-minute posted wait. That is not bad, and often a little bit shorter than it says. Tron is dropping from its little nighttime spike. It is down to 55, and hopefully continues to drop, just because, it would be nice to keep our max weight today at, 35? I don't know that we'll be that lucky, but it'd be pretty cool. There's a high school age volleyball tournament. It's a 0 last weekend. So if you hear raucous yells, that's fine. Oh, the Joffrey's was out of hot chocolate. I did get decaf, but man, I wanted a hot chocolate so bad. I've got hot chocolate at home. All right, headed into Tron. It is a 50-minute posted wait right now. And that's the lowest it's been since Park Open. And at Park Open, it was 50 minutes. So I think maybe before I got into the park, it was 30 when I was on the monorail, when I was trapped on the monorail. So it did have a little bit of a slower start this morning because it was so chilly, but This is definitely one of the only 2 times you'll see wait times start to decline for Tron. The good thing about Tron at park close is that if anything, that wait time is higher than it actually is because the wait times consistently decline until the minute the park closes, and oftentimes they really move people through because there's no lightning lanes, there's nothing. So that's the good thing, is that is probably a little longer than we'll wait. When I get up to actually getting in the line, I will start a timer. It's gonna be a pretty great finale tonight, and overall, I'm gonna call this a pretty successful no lightning lane attempt. And another moral of the story, both from my last attempt where it was more crowded and from this one, you don't need lightning lane for Magic Kingdom. Is it nice to have? Of course. Does it make a difference? Yeah. We spent a lot of the day in lines that we wouldn't have if we had lightning lane. We could have seen some of the parades. We could have seen the fireworks probably. There's just a lot more that you can do. We could have had different meals, maybe a table service meal, and still get the same amount done or similar. But if your priority is rides, or you don't need to do every single little thing in the park, then you can do just fine without lightning lane in Magic Kingdom, whether it's low park hours, slow day, or a high park hours, busy day. I ruled 15 minutes to the lockers, 20 to the ride vehicle. But the wait time is really only to the lockers, 15 minutes, baby. That's what I call a good wait for Tron. Awesome day. And I spent no money on lightning lanes to do it. So I just have to make it out through the mass exodus that will be occurring. And if I check the other Joffreys at the Transportation and Ticket Center for hot chocolate, you mind your business. But to answer the question, you're gonna a whole lot without lightning lane at Disney World. I hope you guys learned something today. I hope this video was helpful. If you are still here, please like this video and drop this secret code in the comments so I know you made it all the way. Plus, don't forget to subscribe. We upload challenges, tips, games, and more from Disney World and beyond all week because we are serious about fun. I'll see you next time. Oh my gosh, it's a sea of people. I'm never gonna get home, and I am so hungry.